Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna make magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy nerds come together to shoot the shit. I, of course, am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds. We just took a shot of Tito's right before we got on the mic. So if it sounds like we're struggling a little bit, it's because of that. How are you doing, Odie?
I'm feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
I wish you would say the whole thing. Like, I wish you would, because you do it every single time. You could just say, like, feeling good, feeling great. Feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Like you get halfway through and then it's one of those things that sticks into my head, you know.
You want me to do the full verse?
Yeah, do the whole verse. I want you to do the Patti LaBelle breakdown that's in the background, like I just want you to know how I feel.
How about
how I feel
when I start, you can start doing the Patti LaBelle verse in the back.
Sure, I'll do backing vocals for you.
You can do the backing vocals,
Yes.
and then that way it'll remind me. And also, I always forget the second verse after I say that first.
It's literally just the inverse.
Yes, and I understand that, and maybe I will remember it next time. But like in the moment, I'm just like blinking. But I feel like you should be feeling pretty good because it's your birthday.
Yes, I am a whole year older. It feels good. It feels great to celebrate my birthday with, like it feels great overall.
Yeah.
You know, like I am just grateful to be on this earth for another year. I have some big goals in this upcoming year, big things that I want to do in the next year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Is there one goal that you could share with us?
Yeah, drop these LBs in my tummy. All right, get rid of this baby weight, and finally be having the beach body that I so desperately would like.
You already have a beach body.
No, I have a beach body. It's not the beach body that I want.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. At any rate, how have you been enjoying celebrating my birthday for this time period?
I've been having a great time. It's happy to see you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to celebrate you, another year of life, love, friends, happiness, joy, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, all the positive emotions,
all the positive things,
and maybe a few negative ones in there too.
I mean, you don't have highs without
anxiety,
some lows,
flustered.
That's part of life.
Yeah,
so
that's
and
true.
We're adulting, so
that's
you're
real.
gonna have. I want you to have. You're gonna have all the other things, but I want you to have more of all the
an abundance.
Yes,
you could say
an abundance of joy and love and happiness, because we're always gonna have those dark parts, the annoying parts, the frustrating parts, the weird parts, and not like the weird and not in a good way.
Yes, yes, weird and not in a good way.
So it's just good that you are going into your 8th year in numerology, which is like
what is 35
35
is the 8th year.
Yeah, because 3 + 5 is 8, so that's the number of you. This is your 8th year.
Okay, so all right, so the next year will be my 9th year?
It'll be your 9 year, yeah, because 3 + 6 is 9.
Okay.
And 8 looks like an infinity symbol, so it's like there's so much ability to get this.
But by that logic, like you have but so many 8 years that you'll have.
Yeah,
it'll be a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Numerology is not about it happening once. It's gonna these things continue happening, just patterns.
All right.
And the energy is connected to it. But I am very happy for you that you've got this far. You've accomplished a lot in your 35 years. There's so much for you to be proud of.
Yeah.
So
I have done a lot in a relatively short amount of time on this earth.
Yeah.
And doing this podcast is one of them. One of the things that I'm most proud of. Thank you. And I didn't get a chance to say this, but thank you for everything that you have done to help make this birthday a memorable one. I appreciate it. This is now several birthdays that you have been a contributing factor into how successful and how awesome my birthdays have been. Aww. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're an awesome person to celebrate.
I think so too. But I can't say it because it makes me seem vain. And I'm a humble man.
Okay.
I'm a humble guy.
That's not true.
I'm the most humble person in the world.
A lie. But you know what? It's your birthday.
In fact, that song was about me. Kendrick's song, Be Humble.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that Carly Simon song.
No. No.
But okay, sure, Kendrick.
Yeah. Speaking of Kendrick, do you want to slide into
our
the pop culture segment? Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Can I kick it?
Yes, we can. All right.
Sorry, we got to get rid of that.
We got to cut that off.
We'll cut it off someday.
So we're gonna start out light.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Keanu Reeves of the John Wick fame is going to be joining Sonic 3 as Shadow in the new franchise.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I have not. I saw the first Shadow.
You saw the first Sonic.
Sorry. I saw the first Sonic.
We watched the second one together, too.
Oh, that one with Jim Carrey. Yeah. Okay. So maybe.
Yeah, both of them have Jim Carrey in it, but like the second one was at the beach, remember?
Oh, that one I'm a little
with Natasha Rothwell getting married.
Oh, honestly,
did you not know that was Sonic the Hedgehog?
I feel like that one is a little hazier for me because I feel like we recently watched
the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit hazy on the second one, but okay.
Yeah, and just for a little bit of lore information, in the video game, Sonic the Hedgehog has a clone version of him called Shadow the Hedgehog, and he's like the edgier version of Sonic.
Well, I look forward to
and I think Keanu Reeves would be a really good like voice actor to bring the character of Shadow to life.
Yeah, I want to watch the Knuckles.
You just want more Idris Elba.
Of course. Who doesn't? You don't want more Idris Elba?
I never said I didn't. I would love nothing more than to have more Idris
all the time.
You gotta get Mo Idris. Which might be the title of this episode. Gotta get Mo Idris.
But I'm looking forward to it. And Keanu Reeves, he's one of my favorite actors. Mm-hmm. He's a bit of mainstay, and he's unproblematic, which I appreciate. Moving along to some wrestling shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that they're calling Damian Priest Senior Money in the Bank? Well, I guess technically
he's no longer. He's senior, now the world heavyweight champion.
Senior world heavyweight champion.
Senior. I think you picked up on that one aspect that he does, and you run with it
because they kept talking about calling him that, and I'd be like,
Money in the Bank.
Sure, just can he freaking cash it in already?
And he did at WrestleMania successfully.
Yes,
I gotta say that was a really fun moment.
Yeah,
because like Drew McIntyre was for
so
5
happy.
minutes.
So
he was the
happy.
champion for 5 minutes, but he let his hubris get the best of him.
He should have just left. What's his name? CM Punk alone, and just sat there and ate your food, and you would have been off the stage.
Sat there and eat his food.
You should have sat there and eat your food. You would have gone backstage, and you would have maybe been assaulted, but you wouldn't have been.
Would have been assaulted.
You wouldn't have been pinned.
Yeah.
In the ring. So that was his fault. But Damian Priest, I have recently found out that the wrestling folks, the wrestling gays, are calling him the bisexual Undertaker.
Yeah, because he looks like a bisexual Undertaker.
And
shout out to Damian Priest, by the way.
Yes. And
one of my favorite members of Judgment Day.
Yes, I do. Even though Judgment Day are the bad guys, I do enjoy Damian Priest.
All right, and that is all there is to that.
Anyway, so I think that another reason when I was reading this article on thepride.com, I was happy that they reported that Damian, even though he's straight, unfortunately, he hasn't been being weird about, like, he's like, oh, like, that's cool,
yeah,
he hasn't been saying anything negative about it, which I appreciate, because there's so much biphobia around. Even if people are okay with folks being gay or lesbian,
it's weird how some people are more weirded out by people being bi than they are with being
because
gay.
I feel like what I hear a lot with folks who have issues with bi people, it's like, oh, you're being greedy, you don't know what you want, you're confused, or thinking like, oh,
it could just be
you just don't want to, you don't want to
commit to one thing,
commit to one because you don't want to really be out.
And
but
yet that's not like a label that's ever put on. What's the other one where there's LGBTQ plus? It's like pansexual.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if any, like,
well,
none of them are greedy, but if any label was going to be used for greediness, you would think it would be pansexual, because literally, like, take on all comers or what have you, or attracted to whoever. It doesn't matter.
Now, no, take on all comers might need to be the name of the episode.
Fair enough.
I think that people should understand that whatever the label that you have on you, or you ascribe to yourself, it does not matter what people are doing and who people care about and love in whichever way that comes out, because it's your body, your choice. It's your, the relationships you're curating, and nobody can tell someone that they are doing it wrong as long as they're not being assholes and, harming people. It doesn't matter. Like, you shouldn't be so pressed about whether someone likes one sex, both sex, all the sexes. Like, that's my prerogative. I'm gonna do what I want.
But it is good that Damian Priest got like a write-up in this. Because he's doing some really good work in WWE right now.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that, like, his queer fans, we don't have to be like, when I started reading this, when it got to the part where they were like, oh, he's identified as straight, and I was just waiting for the graph to come up where they were like, he was being an asshole. So it's nice to see and refreshing to see someone just reacting like this to this in a normal way.
It's the same with Rhea Ripley. Like, she has a lot of like LGBT fans, and she is a baddie.
I feel like,
but she's married to, or she's either engaged to or married to Buddy Murphy's. And Buddy Murphy.
Oh, in real life,
Buddy Murphy and AEW. Yes,
I didn't realize that. I thought she and Dominic were.
No,
I know it's fake, but I didn't realize.
They're just playing that up. Like,
well, I would let
Dom is her Dom.
I would let Rhea hit.
I would let Rhea hit. Are you kidding me? I would let Rhea Dom me.
Yeah, please.
You kidding me, mommy? I would call her mommy. I will call her mommy every single day.
She's a cutie pie.
I even let her get the strap. Maybe. I don't know. She seems like she has powerful legs. How tall is she?
She's tall.
She
look her up.
You know what? She might seem tall, but like they do that optical illusion where like shorter people look taller.
Yeah.
Or they like get their
camera angles.
Yeah, camera angles and stuff. So like
according to the internet, she's 5'7".
Okay, so she's as tall as me.
This article says 5'9", so between 5'7" and 5'9".
Okay, all right.
Honestly, I like that's a great height for me.
That's a great height.
I love that height. I think it's a perfect size.
Yes, it is. You okay?
Yes. Why?
All right, I need you to calm down because you're getting us real. We're talking about Damian Priest.
I'm sorry. I was looking now. I'm looking at her, and she did something to do with her hair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, either way,
she's out injured right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor babe.
Yeah.
I'll come rub it for you.
Some sort of arm injury.
Oh.
Yeah. She had to relinquish her title.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Because she can't compete.
Because she can't. But for how long though?
Like she's gonna be out for a few months.
Wow. Oh, poor Rhea. Well,
yeah, poor
Rhea, we're wishing you the best of luck. Damian, good luck on your title. With keeping your title for as long as you can.
Yes, there will be no other bisexual Undertakers but you.
I love your. Please keep coming out with your ass length braids. I always love them.
Yes. The Archer of Infamy.
And being the poppy of our dreams.
Yes.
Now we're moving on to some less.
Actually, can we get some good news?
You want some good news?
Yeah, hit me with some good news before we get to the less savory stuff. Unless you want to end on the good news.
I'm trying to think of what is even.
Yeah, we'll end on the good news. Just hit me with what you were gonna hit me with.
All right. Well, Nicki Minaj is on tour.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
And you also know that she's married to Kenneth Petty, who is a sex offender.
Yes. Did you see the graphic that I wrote up?
I see it now. Yes, that's very good.
Yes.
So recently, about last week, her husband petitioned the court, asking a federal judge for permission to travel internationally for this Pink Friday 2 tour because, he can't really travel freely. In the thing was this appeal or whatever to the court. It says that the travel schedule they're supposed to go to Canada, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, France, the UK, Austria, Ireland, Switzerland, and Romania. Which is Romania is an interesting place. I didn't think she.
No, I mean, her alter ego is Roman, right? So it makes sense that Romania would love her.
But honestly,
Roman's revenge.
I just feel like, at what point do you have to stop and ask yourself, how far am I gonna dig myself into this hole? When you get to the point where your husband can't join you on your job, he don't have a job and he can't join you with your job.
Yeah,
not because he's doing anything.
Does he have a job?
Being a menace? That's his job. You know what I'm talking about. Arboretum or whatever thing you were saying.
Arboretum.
It's arboretum. There was literally one 30 minutes from our university. I don't know. You passed it every time you came from up north to go into DC. You passed the Arboretum. I don't know why you don't know how to say that word.
That word just doesn't seem like it's pronounced there.
There's a T there.
Arboretum.
Anyway, how are you feeling that your unemployed husband cannot join you on a world tour to be able to at least rub your feet at the end of the night and watch the kid and bring the kid with you?
Yeah, because I gotta imagine that it's mostly though. Why else would you want to go on tour? I mean, obviously it's a world tour. That's a cool thing to do. But it's probably to watch the kid, it's right? He's a built-in nanny.
Because
a dad.
It's either that you have to keep your child at home,
yeah,
or you can bring them with you. And even if they didn't have a child, like I could imagine if you're working in an industry where you don't need to have both people working, and one person's going to be the main work or whatever, that you would enjoy having your partner with you. Maybe not all the time, the whole tour, but being able to like come out and hang out with you, like take some pressure off.
Yeah, hang out in the back in the green room.
Give you like rub your back after a good show. Yes, but like you can't even do that because you on purpose married a sex offender, and he can't leave outside your house without an ankle bracelet and getting the fucking feds involved.
Yeah,
like the feds. It's not even just like
you're not
just applying for a visa. Have to ask the.
I'm not
feds.
marrying anybody where I know that they're gonna have to be in the court for long stretches of time just to like resolve some minor issue that like it's an inconvenience because they decided to do some fuck shit like years ago. Sorry to all of those people who have done their time and are doing that, but like I ain't for me. I'm not built for Cuban links, I guess, is what I'm saying.
All I know is I've seen clips from this world tour, and honestly, it's not good.
No, the album wasn't the
Good.
greatest.
So it's like not only is the tour shit, not only is the album shit, but your husband can't even join you on this shit tour.
But like it just wasn't that good.
It's shit. There's like one good song on there, and that's the one. That's the only one. I watched a clip of her, and I don't know where this was, but she's wearing a pink fur coat, like some kind of white, like kind of like a sports bra looking type of thing, and fucking sweatpants. Like the sweatpants that I'm wearing, like gray sweatpants that I'm wearing right now.
You might want to be careful. Nicki's fans.
I listen. Hey,
Minajes. What do they call? What's
Barbs?
Barbs. Yeah.
Well, listen, Barbs. Please hate watch us.
They're gonna call.
They're gonna hate watch us, and good. We need to get our streams up because if that's one thing they're gonna do, they're gonna hate watch something.
They will destroy. They're gonna dox us.
My algorithm up, and then they're gonna get sued. You know how many lawyers we know collectively?
We do know. We do. Seem to know.
I have at least 3 lawyers in my best friend group chats right now. Like, no, please calm down.
To be fair, like you have like a million friends.
That's why you shouldn't fuck with me because I have a lot of resources.
It makes sense that like a handful of them would be lawyers.
My aunt was a fucking ADA. I'm gonna.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, an assistant district attorney?
Island, yeah. And she made big waves because in the 70s she came to the court with braids.
An assistant district attorney is still a district attorney, right?
Yeah, you're
a type of attorney. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're the assistant.
No. You're it's like there's a district attorney and then you're the assistant district attorney.
Okay, so but you're still an attorney.
You're still an attorney and you're still taking big cases.
Anything where it's like an assistant, I always
it's like the assistant manager.
Like they're a type of manager
of the law.
You're a sort of a manager, but like you have authority.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not just like their gopher.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Shout out to all you black lawyers. Shout out to Auntie and Jeanette and all of your badass glass ceiling breaking badassery. Funny because she would hate that because I'm doing so many cusses.
Oh, she's one of those. She's one of those olds who doesn't like.
The funny thing is, like, she acts like she doesn't have a potty mouth, but you'll talk to my aunt more. And you hear her when she's talking regular. You've heard her now. And she's very funny. I love her.
Which aunt is this?
My mom's elder sister.
Have I met her?
Yeah, when we were doing the moving for mom.
Oh yeah.
She's a sassy lady.
Yeah.
But she's not big on.
I spoke to your uncle about sports. Boy, that wasn't a hard and straining conversation to have based on very limited knowledge. Jesus, I can have a 5-minute conversation with anybody about anything, but we were getting into 7-minute territory when it came to sports, and I'm just like, I don't.
You just have to,
I just have to speak
when it
in
comes to
generalizations. Like, yeah,
you just have to be
the other
like,
team
but I
wanted it
mean,
more.
it's been a hard season for them.
Yeah, it's been rough. Like I haven't been paying close enough attention to
They've been
the
doing
Ravens,
good. They've been trying. They've been out there.
I've been hearing.
They've been working.
I've been hearing that they've been doing what they can. You got to speak very generally.
Very vaguely.
Yeah, very vaguely.
It's funny because last night when we were hanging out with our friends, someone, our Georgia friend was asking our other friend about, are the Knicks in the playoffs today? And they were like, I do not know anything about sports ball. I know that you think I look like it, like I'm tall, I'm loud, like I'm this big like guy.
Our Georgia friend? This was yesterday night?
Yeah. They were asking our other friend, the big guy, about sports, and
okay.
they were like, I don't know
our
what
Georgia friend. Who is our Georgia friend?
Mr. Suave.
Mr. Swazif?
Mr. Suaves. What?
What? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
You're like literally the worst person in the world.
He's not from Georgia though.
Where he's from? The South.
From Pennsylvania.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. His family.
This person right here.
His family is from Pennsylvania.
This colored person right here.
Yes, that's what he said. That's why I was confused.
That's where he grew up.
Yes, he grew up in fucking Pennsylvania.
No, you want to know what I know about Virginia? I know about Georgia because we were talking about. When I was telling him about.
All right. You know what? We'll text and double check.
Yes, we'll confirm. But that's either here nor there. Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, we're still talking about the petties.
And her husband are they're shenanigans again. And we do have an update kind of for our rap beef that we were talking about last show.
Hip hop beef.
The hip hop beef of the century. Somehow now Taylor Swift is involved, which is weird.
Taylor Swift.
She dropped
Snoop Dogg and Tupac.
Can I just say this real quick about Taylor Swift? She dropped an album this week that
it's like a double length album.
Yeah, and I've been actively like avoiding it. Not that sometimes Taylor hasn't had bangers. I can't deny that. Like I love not Wrecking Ball, that's for Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
I love, I Knew You Were Trouble and all that, even though Chloe and Haley murked that song when they did the cover. But she has some hits.
I love how when you compliment Taylor Swift, you're complimenting all the other black women around her.
Well,
or in the vicinity.
She uses us as a fucking prop, Ice Spice, to get people to like her. So anyway, on one of the songs,
you're just gonna have all the fandoms come after you. You got Barb's coming after
the
you.
Swifties come and get us.
Coming after you.
Because we need the hate watches. Okay.
Does Drake have a
the
fan base?
Fuck boys. The lames.
The Drakers.
God. The pedophiles. So in one verse of Taylor Swift's album, she says something about my friends and I like want to go back in time to like the 1830s when there was no racism but take out the racism.
Wait, what?
She said, wait, hold on, let me find it.
Take out the racism.
Hold on,
from the
I'm gonna find.
And this is hip hop beef.
No, this was it's gonna come to that because Drake mentioned her new album on his beef in referring to Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
But it just made me think about this lyric where the album is called The Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology. Gross. No, not interested. But on one of the songs, I hate it here, she says, my friends used to play a game where we'd pick a decade we wish we could live in instead of this. Fuck you, ad blockers. God, I fucking hate these. God. Anyway,
they want you to buy the fucking content. That's why.
My friends used to play a game where we would pick a decade we wish we could live in instead of this. I'd say the 1830s, but without all the racists and getting married off for the highest bid. So like,
is this a lyric?
That's on the song.
Sentence?
That's a lyric on the song, and it's a 10. You can't. You know why you don't know if it's a lyric? Because it's fucking terrible.
That's what kind of song would that be? That doesn't. Why would that?
You want to go back to the 1830s?
Is that a melancholic song?
Not like,
but without all the races. I don't know if you understand how time travel exists, but
and
like
getting married off for the highest bid.
You can't go back in time, but like only like the concept of racism existed back then. So if you're going back to that time, you're just gonna have to accept that that's the time that you're going to. You know what I mean? That's why I would never. It sucks. That's the only downside of being black in science fiction is that like you can't literally go nowhere in the past where it would be dope for you.
Black and a woman, you really can't. I mean, honestly, you know what a time is that you could probably go back.
Reconstruction.
No. This is a time that you could go back. Being black and or a woman is like, I don't even know. It would have to be. I would have to find a matriarchal society from like.
Woman king,
the 400s.
Oh, the warrior king. What was the woman
no?
king?
It was the woman king.
Yeah,
where like it was still when matriarchies were a thing, and men hadn't started killing all of the like women and being assholes, and like that would have to be the time. But like, when are we gonna? I would have to go back so far. That means like there's no electricity. Like people are probably still like fucking washing their hands with leaves and shit. And like you have some infrastructure, but like
with leaves,
you have to live in like very agricultural situation. Like it's not like there were plenty of societies that were definitely what is called very technological pre-colonization, but like not enough where I would want to go back there just because like black people and women were like at the height of their.
There's no point in taking in that culture. Like, I mean,
like,
I'm sure it would be like, fun to take in some elements of that culture, but at the same time,
Imagine all that walking they had to do in El Dorado. That was a lot of fucking walking.
But they had fucking the legs for it. You see those fucking legs?
Because what's her name from El Dorado? What was the name?
Oh, Chow.
She's my like.
She
talk about sexual awakening.
Chow could fucking. She was a baddie.
She could get it.
And she was voiced by, I think, Rosie Perez.
She was voiced. Oh, I love Rosie Perez.
I love me some Rosie Perez.
Anyway.
I miss young Rosie Perez. Nothing against current Rosie Perez at all.
Still gorgeous.
She's still gorgeous.
So she was in a lot of, when she was younger, she did a lot of, I feel like, voice acting.
Rosie Perez walked so that Cardi B could fly.
Oh my God. You know what? You're 100% right. Yes. Afro-Latinas.
Yes.
Who were very openly happy to be Afro-Latina and constantly trying to throw the doors open to be like, we don't all look like
we don't all look and sound
or,
like, like we could still communicate our using our way and still make it through the system without having to change how we look or change how we speak.
You know what movie?
Or code switch.
You want to know what movie I always feel like Rosie Perez deserves vindication from? The Lottery Ticket movie.
The Lottery Ticket movie.
It's the movie with her and Nick Cage. He's a cop. He wins the lottery.
Nick Cage?
Yes. It's Rosie Perez and Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
And it was about a lottery ticket. I think Is Mary Stewart, it can happen to you. Bridget Fonda, Wendell Pierce was in it. But basically, Bridget Fonda is a waitress. Nicolas Cage is a police officer that goes into her diner one day. They are like both having a bad day. They decide they're going to get like a lottery ticket. He ends up winning, and then he says like, "Oh, I promise, I'll give you like half the winnings if I win."
Mm-hmm.
And Rosie Perez is his girlfriend, and she's like, "What do you mean you giving this fucking waitress half our fucking money? Like, we could cut her off something, but like half, like." And it was like they tried to villainize her in the movie as if she was being unreasonable for saying like she wanted her fiance or boyfriend to keep the fucking money that they just won.
I can't imagine Nicolas Cage and Rosie Perez in a relationship.
Listen, that was the 90s. This was made in 94.
Sure.
But anyway, we got to go off topic.
Yeah, we're wildly off topic. You see what this says? This doesn't say fucking Taylor Swift and Nicolas Cage.
I brought up Taylor Swift because Drake put out a diss track against Kendrick Lamar on Friday called Tailor Made, where he came at Kendrick using AI generated voices of Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg, which is weird because do you remember last year?
It's weird because Snoop Dogg is literally alive.
Well, yes,
and like obviously the real Snoop Dogg would probably never go at Kendrick Lamar. Like he gave him like the keys to the West Coast or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like passing the bar.
Snoop responded on Instagram, an Instagram video on Friday saying, "Everybody call my phone, blow me up. What the fuck? What happened?" Because in the verse, the AI Snoop told Lamar, never shot nobody, never stabbed nobody, never did nothing violent to no one, which to me is really pedantic to say the only reason why Snoop and Tupac were these great rappers is because they were so violent. When, like, to me, hip hop is not about violence. There are these people who are talking about their lives and they sometimes were living in very violent situations, but Kendrick has been open about his background and where he lived and the things he saw. So it's like, I don't think you need to be like in the trenches fucking shooting people up and going to jail for murder.
You're absolutely right, especially in hip hop. Like, you don't need to be like a gangster in order to be a hip hop artist. I think it more so speaks to like the authenticity. Like, if you're going to speak on or if your persona is gonna be that of a gangster, then like there should be some level of authenticity.
You're
and
right.
Kendrick's persona isn't like that of like
Kendrick's persona is
thug,
I'm someone that grew up.
I grew up in the
hood
shit.
Adjacent.
Yeah.
Like we talk about being hood adjacent.
Yes.
Because of the shit we saw, that just because we are Howard grads, we went to private school, but we only went to private school because people were literally like getting fucked up in the spaces we were growing up in so bad that we couldn't have just, gone to the schools in our neighborhood, and our parents had to sacrifice to make sure that we were going to get out. And that's not really possible in places that we lived. Yes. So I feel like that to me is just Drake being, his very Canadian, what does Rick Ross keep calling him?
Even Drake's not authentic.
He's not. That's why Rick Ross keeps calling him like white boy and talking about how, he's been always crying and trying to fake the funk on things.
He got his nose done.
He got a BBL Drizzy or BBL Drake.
BBL abs.
But in this whole song was
Brazilian
weird because
butt lift abs.
Also in the song he has AI Tupac mentioning something about,
and it's literally just Drake with a Tupac filter,
yes,
or a
minstrelly
filter.
The thing talks about liking young girls, and I'm like, now this is the thing about Drake.
What do you mean?
In the song, he has the Tupac AI making comments about Drake liking young girls. And if you remember, people had issues with.
Wait, hold on. But it's Drake as Tupac.
Yes.
Calling out Drake.
Basically, like, I guess the Tupac, it's saying that in the song, the Tupac AI is basically giving Kendrick the ammunition to be like, oh, you should use this against him. About the rumors. But like, why are you bringing up rumors about the shady shit people have called out about you? Because remember I told you this before when we've talked about
so that Kendrick
listening to music later on or making playlists, and how are we gonna enjoy the music later on? Because I have been like, Drake has been one of those people where I'm like, Drake is peak college, post grad, where like we were on him for real.
Yes.
And I am like, right now we have the smatterings of we know this that he's being an ain't shit dude and having weird exchanges with younger girls, like Millie Bobby Brown and him having text exchanges when she's 14, and then him trying to gaslight us.
Yes,
and kind of
it's sus behavior.
It's been sus, and we have talked about how there's going to be a surviving Drake or Drake did it documentary coming out in the next 10 years when people stop fucking riding his dick. And it's like,
but he mentions it as Tupac to Kendrick as like it's all
but I feel
strategic.
like that to me is like you're doing it because you don't think anyone's really ever going to check you on it. Similarly to how, remember when, I feel like R. Kelly used to also do things.
He would go to McDonald's and that was near the school in Chicago. No, that's real.
No, yeah.
Anytime he would visit Chicago, there's like
or
McDonald's
even
near
Diddy,
school.
like look at Diddy, how he posted up that video we talked about in the last episode
Victory.
of Victory. Like, just because if you're a person who you feel like you're too powerful to fall, you're gonna do any all type of bullshit. So that has added to the Drake Kendrick beef. Kendrick still hasn't responded to anybody. Drake tried to call him out and said, "What are you waiting for? You're not gonna put anything out."
And it's all strategic. Drake knows that Kendrick can't come out this weekend because fucking Taylor Swift just dropped a double album.
That's what he's saying. That
and if whatever Kendrick would have done, Taylor Swift would have stepped all over that.
But that's why he made the song Taylor Made, because he was trying to say like, oh, you can't come out with this song, because he said in the lyrics of Push-Ups, but now we gotta wait, but now we gotta wait a fucking week because Taylor Swift is your new top, and if you about to drop, you gotta approve. This girl really about to make you act like you not in a feud, these are just terrible lines. These are terrible lines.
I don't know if they're terrible lines or if it's just how you're delivering them that makes it
if they were possible to be delivered in a better way, I would do that. But they're not.
I think there is.
No, you do it. You go and spit some bars.
I'm not great.
Licorish.
What I'm saying is there is a way to deliver it another way, and that's how Drake does it in the goddamn song.
But that doesn't make it a good lyric. Just because he's doing it in a cool way or whatever, it doesn't make it a good lyric. If I can't read the lyric and be like, yes, bars. When I read Kendrick's diss, I don't have to hear the song to be like, yeah, there ain't no big three, it's just big me. That's a fucking bar.
It's catchy.
I don't need to have the bass and shit behind it. That's all Drake is. Drake needs to have beats and tempo and all of this background bullshit going on for you to be like, yeah, that's a hit. But like I said, rap beef has been kind of taking over the last week, right? Because now Chris Brown and Quavo were in it, and somehow today,
well, they're not in that beef. They're just beefing with each other.
No, they're beefing with each other because Quavo came out Chris Brown on a song calling him a domestic abuser, and then Chris Brown came out talking about he fucked his girl, and then somehow Jill Scott got in it, which is so.
I don't think she's in the beef.
She's not in the beef, but she put her 2 cents in, which is weird. Because she put out this weekend, she put out a tweet that said, Chris Brown is amazing. How does anybody sing like that, dance, look, act, and rap like that? Beyond gifted. It appears exceptional people have to go through exceptional. There's nothing to debate. And so somebody pointed out, I think the women he abused would disagree. And she said,
exceptional fire.
Oh, yes. Exceptional
That's a fire emoji.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Now she responded, I doubt it. My mother's ex-husband was a mean, violent human, and he could lay foundation better than anyone in my city. What he did with cement was awe-inspiring. We got away, he got a raise, and praised for his ability. God dealt with the rest. Now, I feel like this tweet reminds me, like women like Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, like Black women of that generation, I feel like they have a difficulty coming to the terms with we're no longer allowing abusers to go through life like unscathed
Mhm.
just because they're Black men.
Mhm.
And that is, I think, a trauma that Black women and like Black people have to really think about and talk about, because there are so many Black women who talk about, oh, I didn't come out and say this person abused me because it was a Black man. I didn't want him to, get in trouble and all that, because Black men have gone through so much, yada, 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 and not really embracing the tenets of like feminism and womanism, and just like saying, just because someone abused me doesn't mean that it's okay for anyone else to be abused. Just because the man was Black, because a person being a good man, like he's a good man, Savannah, like that's not enough. And that's a Wing Tax reference.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's
Because
definitely from something.
Because in the movie, Whitney Houston, R.I.P., is she's the mistress of, what's the Allstate guy's name? Damn.
Oh, I know who
You
you're
know what I'm
talking
talking about, Deep Voice.
Yeah,
She's his
that's
mistress.
Allstate stands.
And he like, will be gaslighting her and calling her mom and trying to like make it seem like he loves her and da 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 da. And her mom basically just wants her to settle for him. And she's like, he's a good man, Savannah. It's like, he's also fucking married with a child.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good man.
That's actually not the opposite of a good man.
He has a good job, and
he has a good
money
job,
and
he has a good family, but that doesn't make him a good
man.
But
there are sects of our Black aunties and moms and grandmas and cousins and all that who will allow men, Black men specifically, to be ain't shit.
Yeah, in order to, just like, oh, okay, like, oh, he's a little flawed.
Yeah.
Even though, like, no, he's immoral at best.
Because remember when Erykah Badu, she came out someone was talking about students girls being like assaulted or sexually harassed by a teacher, and she was like, well, these young girls be in class, dressed in this type of way, and it's like that's not it. But Chris Brown and Quavo going in these domestic violence abuser pointing fingers at each other like the Spider-Man meme. It's interesting because Quavo, remember, he got into it online because he had gotten into that fight with Saweetie on the elevator, and everybody was looking at it and criticizing him. And of course, we know Chris Brown and Karrueche and Rihanna and the other myriad of women he's had issues with. It's been like lots of just ancient behavior, and both of them trying to call each other out is it's weird because it's a pot calling the kettle.
Yes.
For sure.
Sorry, I was paying attention, but I'm sending.
I got that.
Okay.
Do you have anything that you would like to add or share about
Quavo and
any of the situation?
First off, it's weird to me that Quavo and Chris Brown have responded to each other quicker than Kendrick has responded to Drake. Like, who would have thought that it's not the beef that we wanted, but it's the beef that we need.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see how it happens. And then finally, let's end pop culture on some really good news.
From not that one. Well, we have
baby. Ashanti's having a baby.
I'm gonna end this. This is one of this kind of goes into what we were saying about Black men not being really called to task for their bad deeds, because Nelly has many an allegation. But I want to say, I hope that Ashanti is happy, healthy.
Yeah, they look happy in that photo.
I pray for her safe delivery. Having a baby is no easy feat, and you deserve to be praised and loved and catered to. And I hope that he is doing that for you. And I also hope that he is learned from his past behaviors and not going to be bringing the drama that Kenneth Petty is bringing to his wife
to
you.
I just want that baby to learn its alphabet and specifically learn its vowels, because that baby will be like A, yeah, yeah, and sometimes Y.
But no, Kelly, Nelly and Ashanti are engaged. They have a baby due.
Mm-hmm.
They first popped out on the scene in 2003. 20 years later, they ran it back. They are getting married. They're having this baby, and
that goes to show you that sometimes you can, like, I don't know, date somebody and then it doesn't work out when y'all are younger, and then like you get older and then maybe you circle the block again, and yeah.
And I mean, I think that sometimes it's a timing.
Circle the block again.
I think it's timing and growth and change and all that.
Also, shout out to Ashanti for having her baby in her own time. You know what I mean? Like, not feeling the societal rush to have a baby.
I feel like
she's like, what, 43 or something?
I think she's 43. And me personally, I feel like, I grew up with women in my life telling me that I didn't need to be, married by a certain age or having kids by a certain age or having kids at all if I didn't want to. And I'm glad that we're seeing more women choosing when and deciding when they want to have babies, because being a parent is no easy feat, especially for a woman, especially for a Black woman, because we know what Black women have to deal with when it comes to maternal mortality, infant mortality, and just the general process of having a baby, regardless of how much money you have. So that's why I hope that she has a happy, healthy, joyous pregnancy. This is something that she wants. This is like, because the thing is, by 43, if you're having a baby, it's because you've wanted this baby. Like, it's,
yes,
all the ways that you don't need to, like, ways you could stop it, So I hope that this is something she is happy about, and I'm so excited for her. Like, she deserves to be happy, and she deserves to get what she wants.
Yes, agreed. So shout out to Ashanti. Shout out to the expected bundle of joy that's coming.
Yes.
And shall we go in for the thing? And that's pop culture. This must be pop. Shall we go in with the things that made us happy this week?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give up, baby merchant, just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
First off, that is a better transition than the one from the previous week. Yeah. Goodness. But what is making you happy this week?
What is making me happy this week is celebrating with friends.
Mm-hmm. Getting to see new dimensions of my friends.
Getting to see new dimensions and creating like safe spaces and just having joy and happiness and celebrating the people that, I love and care for. I made a really delicious pizza.
Yeah, you did. You made 2 delicious pizzas.
Thank you. And the sliders.
Weren't
that bad. I'm making pizza dough from scratch is difficult, and I haven't done it in a while, but I was really happy how it turned out.
Yeah, me too.
And I look forward to making actually more pizzas.
Plus, there's a thing of frosting that I'm gonna get in the refrigerator.
Yes, there is. I hope that you liked your Tres Leches banana pudding cake. It didn't turn out exactly as I hoped, but I appreciate the time off that I'm having to be able to do the different type of like food experiments and baking experiments that, I enjoy. Because I do enjoy cooking and creating things in the kitchen. But I enjoy having the time and the energy to do that. And I'm appreciative of that, of being able to have fun with my friends and like just spend time like having fun and like seeing people who you care about and care about you, and just like, making the people that I love happy. That's what makes me happy.
Yes. Agreed.
What about you? Oh, sorry. There's one more thing.
Yes.
I saw some news this week that actually one of my friends from Howard tweeted about that Howard's HUSA, the HUSA, the Student Association,
HUSA, yeah,
has elected their first trans president, and their name is Jay Jones, and I'm just very happy for them.
Jay or Jade?
Jay.
Okay.
So they're the president for the 2024-2025 academic year. And I'm honestly, I'm just very excited about that. And I think about, how far we've come. Victoria Kirby posted it as well, and I remember when we came into Howard, she was campaigning for HUSA president. She was openly lesbian, and like that was obviously, you think, like super what is the word,
controversial,
not controversial, but like eye-opening or whatever. Like, not to say there was never any other queer folks in the presidency, but being super open about it, like that was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
And she tweeted out, like, in the last 16 years since I was elected the first openly LGBTQ plus student elected to Howard U's board, the student body has elected gay men, non-binary, and trans people to serve as its voice on the board or as HUSA president and VP. Incredible progress. My heart is full. And I really, I appreciate that, because I think that from our time at Howard's campus, there has been a lot of growth and change when it comes to queerness and acceptance that may not have been there when we were there. And I love seeing a Black trans person getting to the height of where they should be getting, like, because it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you do, etc. It's that you are talented, and that's what people should be seeing. And so I'm so happy to see them get into this space, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
Yeah, me too.
And what about you?
Shout out to them. Because this is a big milestone, and this is very important for the LGBTQ plus community. As for me, turning 35, I have no problem with sharing my age. I'm 35 years old. I have no problem with, like, people
knowing. And you're a cutie pie.
Thank you. I am a cutie pie. I'm downright fucking adorable. And just bringing in my new year, bringing in my new birthday year with my friends and family, like, I got to see so many different friends over the course of the last few days, some that I haven't seen in a really long time. I'm talking like pre-pandemic. Shout out to Amy and Benel and Lulu. It was great seeing y'all. And just bringing it in with some dope ass people, and again, I thank you for everything that you did to contribute to make this birthday a really good birthday. And shout out to everybody who came to, like, my game night.
I love that. And before we go, I just want to give a general rest in peace and a shout out to one Barbara O. Jones, who is an iconic actress from the movie Daughters of the Dust. Definitely watch that if you have a chance. It's a really great movie by Halle Jarima, who I want to say might have done things at Howard, if I can remembering correctly, in the film department. And also a Howard student named Mohammed Samura, who was struck by a car by Cook Hall by a faculty member. The details are still kind of coming out, because there's allegedly the faculty member was having a heart attack while they were driving and hit them. But it's these are type of things.
These are tragic. Yeah, this is tragic.
The Howard community definitely comes together and wants to support them. There's a GoFundMe out for them. So please just show your support.
Do what you can.
Everything that we've learned about them is they were, a great student, a great person, and just like a tragic moment for the Howard. You never want to have to deal with something like that. And it's just a reminder that we need to love on each other and constantly be putting the people that we care about in the forefront of our lives, because you never know when someone's time is coming.
Exactly. And with that, we'll see y'all next weekend or next week, whenever. We'll see y'all when we see y'all the next time.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us on more Black and Snurdy podcast. I'm Mo, Kid Licorish. This is Odie. We will see y'all on the flip side.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnurdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E, and on Twitter THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snurdy podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually